Hello again, and this video gives you informations about the basic part of English language, which is tense. You may be aware about that, hopefully. Yet I like to revise it once so that you can have some sort of confidence when you frame a sentence. I'm not going to go into the deeper part of that. It's not possible here, but the basic, I'm going to discuss the basic, and I'll discuss some of the most common mistakes made by IELTS student in related to tenses, right? So let's try to begin with this. The basic requirement for a grammar part is to know how to frame simple sentences in English language, right? And this is what is the simple sentences are made of. There are many exceptions. I'm not going to go into that, which is not required for you in IELTS writing anyway. So simply subject, you know what is subject? Let me show you a table. Perhaps you'll be able to understand it better. So these are the four basic framework that we do in a tense if we are not using any connectors to add it further. There is a subject, means a subject is one who does the action or what about what we talk, right? So that is known as subject. So you can see, and there's a verb and object with action of the subject is reflected. And if there is no object, right, means nobody is getting. For example, I go. If I say I go, now I'm not affecting anyone directly, right? So instead of that, I say I go to, for example, New York, right? So New York then is not an object because I'm not affecting anyway, but I eat rice. So you can see eat is an action where rice is getting affected directly by me. So that is known as object. So many times we don't have an object. In that case, we use complements. You say severe pollution can be, now pollution cannot affect anything directly, and so can be damaging, right? Generally, object is used with person, but I'm saying usually, right? Emission of carbon dioxide can jeopardize, and then what? So if you get the answer with what and whom, if you are able to get the answer with what and whom, that will be the object. For example, I eat rice, so what do you eat? I met Rajat, so whom did you meet? So there's a clear question. Then if you get the answer, that is object. If you don't get the answer, like um, for example, I'll say like I will fly to New York next week. So I'll say, what will you fly? I mean, there is no answer here. Whom will you fly? There is no answer. So then what we use is known as complement. I hope you have understood it, right? So then there are some examples. Emission of carbon dioxide can jeopardize what? What can it jeopardize? Object, the existence of human beings, right? Population explosion is believed to be the biggest threat to development. So that's passive voice. So these are a bit advanced level sentences that we're using. Is believed to be the biggest threat to development. You're getting the point? So basically we use subject plus verb plus object. If object is not applicable in many places, then we can use complement, like he is, like say he is. Here we cannot have any object in any way, so he is, we say a good boy. So, or any linking expressions like it appears. So it appears isn't a complete sentence, so we say it appears cloudy, so that will be the complement, right? So be careful when you frame a sentence. You should see that whether you're following this basic frame of English language or not, right? Sometimes students write sentences like scientists making serious efforts to resolve the issue related to cybercrime. Now you can say scientists making, there's a verb or tense related mistakes here, right? So helping verb is missing. I'm not going to go into the detail of helping verb and other things, although I will provide you a PDF format. If you want to go through them, you can go through them, And you can see the basic rules of grammar, because here it's not possible to cover them extensively, or there are many other resources that I will recommend some resources at the end of the lessons that you can use. Now I'm going to take some examples related to the tenses, and you can test yourself whether you can answer them correctly or not, right? So the verbs must be made according to the character of the subject. When I say character of the subject, I mean singular, plural, first person, second person. It changes. So we say I am, but we say you are, they are, right? She is. So that according to the character of the subject. So there are some questions that I'm going to give you, and I'll see, or you have to check with yourself whether you are able to get the answer of what is the mistake here. So many people believes that a foreign language enhance the overall personality of a person. Can you find the mistake? You can see here we have two subject. Many people is a subject, then this is the verb, and then there is a connector, then there is another subject. So once you use connector, another subject, another verb, right? And have you got the answer? If not, then check it, right? Many people is a plural, so we cannot use s here. This is a fundamental of English. S is used when we talk about one person, place, or thing, or you talk about third person like he, she, it. But with many people, we cannot use. So it should be believed. And the foreign language, again, it's a singular, so you cannot say enhance, right? Singular, third person. So exactly opposite. Here it's a plural, so you cannot use s. Here it is singular, so you have to use s. Right. Let's see the second one. Everyone think that. So there is the subject, everyone think, and there is a connector. Then again, the number of criminals, and there is another verb rising consistently. Have you got the answer? If you have got the answer, it's okay. If not, let's check the answer. You can pause the video and you can wait and think if you can get the answer anyway, right? So you can see everyone, each, every, wherever we use each and every, or even each and every, right? Each one is happy, each person is happy, everyone is happy, right? Or each and everyone is happy. In the all case, we use a singular verb, so they are considered as a third person, so we cannot use thing. And the number of, that's the trick, the number of, and many IELTS test takers make mistake in that. The number of is the subject here, not the criminals. You can see the number of deaths are rising. So actually the number of what, something that cannot be criminal, that can be anything. The number of is, it is followed by is, that you have to keep in mind all of it, right? So each and every, and the number of is followed by, even by plural we use singular here. Let's take the third question. The percentage of employees who have quit the company, and then whatever, right? So again, the percentage of employee, that's the subject. Who, another connectors. Who is again used in place of subject. And then this is the verb have. Let's see what's the problem here. All right. See, have. The percentage of, again, is a singular. The percentage of is singular. So we cannot say have here. The percentage of is used as a singular. So the percentage of employees has quit the company. Right? Okay, next question. And these all are very basic kind of questions. Improving the standard of living of poor people in cities, such a big subject here. So improving the standard of living of poor people in cities, these are the subject, are crucial. Now, what is the subject here? Improving the standard of living of poor people, and improving the standard of living. That's the basic subjects are crucial for. So if you have got the answer, it's fine. No, you can pause and think for the answer, but I'm going to show you the answer. It should be is, not are, because cities are crucial. Cities, not the subject here. The subject is improving the standard of living is crucial, even if you skip them. So you should always identify the main subject, and the verb should follow the main subject. Next is what, again, this is a very common mistakes made by candidates. One of the biggest drawbacks of such trains are growing disrespect for the own culture. So one of the biggest drawbacks of such trains, so this is the subject. This is known as subject phrase. The subject can have more than one word. There can be a clause, there can be a phrase. So one of the biggest drawbacks, you can see here the drawbacks, you can see here trains and then there are. So you have time, see if you can get the answer. If you have got the answer, let me check. See, no are, it should be is. The reason is one of the, I'm talking about anything, biggest drawbacks, there are many, but I'm talking about one of. So one of the drawbacks. So one is, that's the subject is one of. So it should be is. And be careful because this is used a lot, right? This is very important. A person suffering with this may like some medicine assistance. I think this one is very easy. You must have got it by now, right? If not, then let me show you. With any models, may, should, can, could, might, or many, has to, have to, must, we don't use es form, right? That you must know. Okay, let's take some more examples. So this one is another example. Scientists are knowing it very well that these affected people would not. So scientists, the plural, so R is used, are knowing it very well that on the subject, these affected people would not win the fight against the plague. Have you got the answer? If no, let me check it. You can pause the video and you can keep thinking. Let me see what is this. So our knowing is not possible. We have to say no. Although it seems grammatically correct, let me tell you that there are certain words which is known as non-continuous or non-progressive verbs with which we don't use the ing form. For example, we don't say I'm loving you, we don't say I'm liking you, we don't say I'm knowing you. We always say I like you, I love you, I know you. All right. There are certain examples. Again, you will get that in PDF format. A certain such action verbs actually which is internal, which doesn't show any external activities usually. Like when I say I know you, you really don't know whether I really know you. You don't know. When I say I love you, you don't really know whether I really love you or I'm just saying it. So it's all internal. So feeling, ideas, internal emotions, there we don't use ing form, even if it sounds or it seems correct, right? Secondly, we don't use would not this way. It is again used by candidate many times. Rather than using future, they simply use would not, which is not acceptable. So be careful. These affected people, now this is not an imaginary scene that you're using here, would not. These affected people will not win the fight against the plague, right? Second one, inhuman act like beating the animals led to their exploitation, right? Inhuman act, no, this is beating the animals and led, they're talking about the past. Okay, let's see what's the mistake here. Well, that's a bit tricky type of mistakes, right? Actually, this is just in context with the writing task. When you write such thing which is connected to the present, this is a bit advanced level, right? Connected to the present, and we write such sentences like dash has happened. So better use the word has led or leads. If you use leads, it means this is what happens recurringly, or I mean it has become a part of a life. Or has led means something started in the past and continued. So inhuman act like beating the animals has led to their exploitation, because I'm talking about the present result. So be careful when writing this kind of sentence where you're talking about present result of a past action. Most probably you should use has led. Next one. More research needs to do before choosing a certain medication. More research is the subject, so needs is fine to do. I don't know. Let's see what's this. Well, if this is the example of passive voice, if you know that. Again, if you don't know, you can get the idea in the PDF format of grammar that I will attach with this. But this one is more research needs to be done because the research is not doing itself. Another subject is involved, which is not mentioned here. So when we talk about an action, like do is the action, and the subject is not preceded, like there is no subject before this action verb. Who will do it? That's not clear. In that case, this verb should be used in passive voice. The passive form here is be done. So more research needs to be done. I'll give you one more example. Like, you should teach me IELTS. Now, although this is correct, but meaningfully say you should teach me IELTS, it should be you should be taught IELTS, because the teacher here is I. So I am teaching you. Since you cannot say you should teach me, although you mean to say I, but because you begin the sentence with you who is not doing the action of teaching, so there we use passive voice, right? Next one is people, especially in developing countries, are struggling with the issue of unemployment for a long time now, right? People, especially in developing countries, are struggling with the issue of employment for a long time now, right? Have you got the answer? Let's see. It's a straightforward, a tense-related question. We cannot say are struggling when we refer to a connection with the past time. We are saying for a long time now. So I'm referring back to the past. If you refer back, so like since time immemorial, people have been facing a lot of problems while dealing with emotional relationship or anything like that. So there you have to use have been or has been. We cannot use are. We cannot say I'm waiting for you for 1 hour. Perhaps that's not grammatically correct. We should say I have been waiting for you for 1 hour. That's better. And your writing parts of grammar should be correct. Well, the past generation are never taught that life conversation will be a reality one day. Are never taught. So there's some problem. See here. The past generation have never been taught that. Okay. The past generations have never been taught that live conversation would be a reality one day. I think there is a problem in the answer part. The past generation did not think that should be the answer. Let me correct this one because I don't think this is a correct answer. Can I really correct it, right? Because we're talking about the past, so it should be let me see if I can correct this one. um just a minute, please give me 1 minute, let me correct it. There's a technical issue that I'm facing here. So they're saying that the past generation is sorry for the mess, but let me correct it because I don't want you with oh my god, another issue. I'm facing a lot of issue with this. Can I? So the past generations are never taught. That's not correct. It should. So this one is the wrong one, but the correct should be it should be did not think, right? Did not think. Okay, and then it's fine. No, now it's fine. So sorry for the mess, right? But it's better to correct it. So now it is the past generation did not think that, right? Live conversation will can once you talk about the past did not think that, or perhaps we can use here had not thought that. Both are possible. Had never thought that. So it could be the past generations are never thought. We can say the past generation because are never thought is not possible. We are talking about the past. The past generation had never thought that live conversation would be. When we are talking about past in the first sentence and is connected by that mostly, then it cannot be used. You can just imagine that if I'm talking about something 1 year ago, and if I use will, it will go to the future. But they mean to say that life consistent would be, they're referring at that time for them future. So it should be would in place of that. So I decided that I will help them is not possible. So I decided that I would help him. Or I had decided that. So you can use had, never, thought as well here, right? Okay, let's see the last example. Since time immemorial, there is a belief that's again connecting past to the present. So we have to use perfect tense, right? Instead of is, you have to use has been. Since time immemorial means since beginning, there has been a belief that there was a supernatural power. Now we cannot use was because this is a belief and this is a general fact, accepted fact, so that there is a supernatural power that runs this world. So you can see there was this is example, and this kind of sentences are written. I think this video has gone too long. Anyway, thank you very much, but these are very important part of the grammar that you have just learned. See you very soon with a next chapter on grammar. Bye.